I know. I promised you more lock, but I've been stuck in the literal mines of Cauldron over these past couple of days. It is time to return to lock and get some more puzzles completed. Last episode, we learned about X, which is making the complexity of all of these levels a lot higher, is the reality. But we're still doing okay, and I think that I'm ready to move on to the nuclear power plant here that is probably going to introduce another whack job new mechanic for me. Learn a new keyword. Okay. Let's figure it out. B. All right. B. So, oh God, brother. Okay. Okay. Oh, lordy. Okay, this is going to mess up everything. Right? So we oh God. No. No. What am I doing? How about no, you can't. No, I have an idea. No, I don't have an idea, man. I don't have an idea. The Talak feels good. Like, you can do, like, right, you can do an X here, and then you can do an A here, and you can do Talak, right? But then you can't Talak anything. So it's not that. You can do an X and then an O, and you can do lock, right? But then, you can tie and then the X. Yeah, okay. Sure, yeah. Okay, what if we just be everything? Well, you don't want to do that, though. You do this one first to create a B here. You do this one here to create a B here. You do this one here to create an O here, and then you lock and you do this. Brother, these are tough. Okay, I know that we've said it a lot, but these are on another level. The game just continues to get more and more complex. My brain will not be able to handle these for much longer, so enjoy it while we're here. We have 2 Bs, we have a lock. Talak is not going to happen on this one, so just don't worry about it. You really have no reason to do X's, I feel like, on this one. So it's really making me wonder if it's as simple as, like, this for a B, this for a B, and we do, like, a T here. We ta. What do you ta, though? I feel like you don't actually have anything to ta, so maybe we undo. You could ta. Well, but then you can't ta again, which is also kind of important. Because you could, if you B another A, you can ta A and then lock the L. Yeah, that seems logical to me. Now, you do have a Talak that is existing in here. So if we start with a B, turn this into a for a tying opportunity, okay? You can do this. Now, if I B, I can change one of those, but I need this to be an A, and then I would I would B a What would I actually do here? That is not gonna work. That's not gonna work. I feel like I saw it for a second. There's a Talak down the middle that I really like. But I feel like that's going to need me. What if we be like an X in? It doesn't matter what we do with it. And then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. As long as they're next to each other, it's fine, right? It's fine. Okay. Okay, there we got an S. We got two S's. S is useless. S is horribly bad. You're a terrible, terrible lad. You're also, your B is locked right now. Not locked as in LOK. It's locked as in I can't access it over here. So these two are currently useless, which means that we really only have one choice, and it's to Ta. So tying S allows us to now do a lock that allows me to do this tile, to do this into an X, and then I can Ta the X's. I think that's very solid, Tyler. I think that's very solid. Now you immediately have your B, which I think is good. The issue is that what the hell do we put here? Because you can clearly see that there are locks lined up everywhere, man. I think you want this to be a... I think you want this to be an O. Right? I think I did not want that to be an O. I need it to be something that I need it to be a K, right? Because then we can do LOK. And I can get rid of any one tile. We need to get rid of this K, because it's never going to work. Then we need to get rid of these A's. And then you have a lock here. But I needed this to be an X. I need you to be an X though. That's a Z. I need you to be an X. So then I can Ta to here to get rid of the A's. And then I can go lock to here, and then lock to here. Oh, but brother, I'm cooked after that. Okay, maybe we need more. There's something else we're missing here for sure. For sure. Can I be any other tile? No. Okay. So if I be, I still think that an X here like makes some sense. But what if it's a different Ta? It has to be a Ta on A, man. There's no other reasonable solution. Well, okay, there is a reasonable solution though. You get rid of this K. You then do this, and then you just have locks, man. The problem is you need two Tas. If you turn this into an X, you need another Ta. So now I'm like, turn it into a T. And let's frickin' Ta K. That's not the answer. Why is this one so hard? I mean, there's only one approach you can take, which is being right off the rip. I guess you could be a L to lack this to lock the lock is really not valuable. The Talak is also like really not valuable. Unless you do like the problem is you just need more of them. You need so many more of them. Unless there's something we can do. Nope. I don't know. I'm tempted to use a hint on this one because I'm struggling to see, at least like confirm that B is first. Yeah. Okay. Because there's no other thing I'm missing there. It has to be the B first. But then it can only be one of two things. It's either an L for the Talak or it's an X to Ta. So then it's a Ta. Okay. So this has to begin with B Ta. And it like there's no other way to get rid of the A's without doing that. So I feel like it has to be, man. You can do this, which can get you to here. But then where do you go from there? I'm gonna hint my way through this. Ta into a lock, into a lock, into a lock. It's just 3 locks and you're done. But that seems so impossible to me. You have this lock for an X. You have this lock for an... You have this lock for an X. You have this lock for an X. And then you have this lock for an X. You know, I'm going to tell you, I feel like my brain did see that, and then it just never did it in the correct direction. And that's on me. That's on me. Okay, this is a perfectly mirrored puzzle, which is very intriguing. A double B into a double Talak into 4 X's. So what do you do here? I feel like that you do like a T, you do a Ta, and then you Talak 2 of the X's, you Talak 2 of the X's, and then you Ta nothing. That seems incorrect then. Just thinking logically. It's going to be something that you don't expect, right? Which could potentially be like... You make this freaking anything. Like you make this a G. Now you can Talak. But then we would need to find a way to get to a Ta for the X's if you're not going to clear them normally. What if we make you just a B, man? I'm assuming you have to... Yeah, you gotta be something still. So what if we Talak B and we Talak B and then we're left with just X's? Obviously not looking too great. Still makes a lot of sense to be something here. You could be an A, and you could be an A, and then you Ta L, you Ta A, and then you KXX, KXX. I like the corner ta, man. I think that that's actually a very intriguing. But then you have to ta the X's to lack. There's like a there's some kind of wacky. You can do this and you can do this, and that leaves you with 2. So you have to do a ta at some point to get rid of X's. So if it's these 2, then you don't do X's. You would need to... What if you make this a T instead? Then you talack. Can't talack those. If you ta... But you need to talack first. So the ta you would do... I feel like that there's something. Yeah. I'm seeing it, to be honest with you. So we get rid of these. Then you ta L, and then you ta X. Yeah, I saw it the entire time. I was like, there's a weird double ta in here that works. It took me a little bit to find it, was all. Okay, this has to be a B to start. We have no other play. So what do we B in this scenario? We B an X, so you can then lock. This has to be an X, so I can ta. This has to... I ta the R. That has to be a B, though. I B this. And then you're immediately cooked, which is tough. Okay. So being... How about you be an X here? I see a path where if that's an X, you have a talack that can go down to here. The problem is that you can't do it yet because, you just don't have the juice. You can do this, which that's kind of cool. Then you just make this a T, right? To do the talack. The O and the R is disgusting. So you can do that, but then you don't have a way out of it. If you do this, then you can do this, and then you're just left with OR. Which does not... That does not help. That does not help. You could ta these. But then I can't go down from there. You know it has to start with a B. That's easy. Then it's another B. Okay. I was on the right track on this one. But then what is the next play? I'm gonna tell you, I still think that it's a talack, man. I just don't know what talack to do. No, it's a ta, and then a lock, and then a ta. Okay. So if we're going to B for a ta, let's do it here. Then that would be a... I ta those. You come in with a lock on... But then I need another T, man. How are we doing 2 tas? Okay, yeah, I mean, I see how we can potentially do 2 tas. The B has to generate a T here. So this would have to be a T. We ta these. We lock this, and then we ta this. I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm starting to think that these are not freaking possible without hints. They're really, really hard, and this is psychotic. I mean, this is actually a straight up psychotic one. Because we can be a lot. And I think you want to be a T. Then you want to be... No, you want to be a L. You want to be a... I did this wrong. We have to do this one. You want to be an L. This one, you want to be an O. This one, you want to be a K. It has to be a Talak, man. But how the hell do you get this? The lock has to go here. And then you be a... It can't be Talak, man. It can't be Talak. Put an E here. You be this. You be a T. You be an A. You be... Ah, frick. Okay, you be a L. You be an O. You be a K. Not an L. You be a K. And then you lock. It was making another B, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, now you have the hard puzzles, because those weren't hard enough, apparently. You have a lot of choices, man. You have a lot of choices, which is horrible. You can do this. You can Talak. That's immediately, like, not correct. You be the thing you want to be in the world. You be a T. You lock a L. You ta a X. You be an A. You lock an L. You ta. You be an O. You lock. You lock for this. You lock for this, and you ta the X's. Thank you. Thank you. I'll accept my applause. What the frick is going on here, man? You have 1 million Bs. I mean, it's actually just like, it's a disturbing number of Bs. Let's do a lock. This E is horrible. You need that E, though. How about you get rid of a... You can't lock yet. What if we be a B here? That does not help me at all. How about we be a ta, right? And then we just open up the whole damn map. Does that help us? It does not even a little. Okay. What if you ta here instead? Does that help us? No. You know it has to be a B right off the get-go. You have a lock that you can easily line up. That feels logical to me. But then what do you lock, right? There's nothing you can lock here that benefits your life. So it's not lock, is how I see it. I think in that case, it has to be another B, which in turn is 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 another E, which in turn is another A to get rid of all of these, and then you're left with Pock. I have a feeling that when we click this answer, it's going to be B a million times. That's about what I expected, okay? So we B to here. We B to create an L. You would B... If lock is next, then the second B has to create an L. But then how does that open me up for another B after the fact? It would have to be by having a B... My brain, it hurts. This is like an Uber challenge level, man, so I don't even... It's still frickin' hard, even having the hint. B... This forms another... You put an E or a B somewhere. And then that allows me to put down a lock. So how does that function? Where the lock opens us up another B scenario. This tile is what makes sense because the lock would get in the way. Unless, what if it's an X, man? Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. Then you could lock... The hell can you lock to be able to get more... Maybe it's an X in a different spot. Maybe it's an X here, man. To then be here... You put the L here to lock this to get an E. Oh my God. Okay. So now we have 3 B's in a row. You put the X here. That's a Z. You put the X here to be this to give me an A. To be this to give me an A. To ta... this and ta this. Holy crap. Now that's a freaking puzzle, man. That's a freaking puzzle. You're crazy, to be honest. You've lost your damn mind. That is really difficult. That is really difficult. I had a good time with it, for sure. This will be the next section. We'll do it in the next video. I feel like a world per video is a good way to go about things. I don't know how many worlds are in this game, so I'm just gonna keep on doing them, I guess. We'll see where life takes me. For now, if you're enjoying Lock, liking the video, much appreciated. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.